So it's telling me to forward my privacy. So let's see. What can I do? Oh, nope. I was trying to see if it was a way I could. I don't know what none of this means. So I was trying to see if I could, you know, have like a background versus, my house. All right, anyway, I need to change my display settings. So oh, heck. I forgot to switch my color. Say save changes. Keep changes. So we gonna go here. Am I going the right way? There we go. So we can learn some stuff. Um, I don't even know if I bookmarked this or not. Probably did not. So smart of me. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ah! All right. Isn't that wonderful? I had a whole entire thing that I was using. This was, yep. I don't even know. Let's see if I saved this already. If not, we're going to do that right now. Boom, baby. I am really hoping this is what I was using. It is. So we did measuring. Let's I don't know if you all can see that. I wish it was away. Is it too much light in here? Let's see something. Nope, that's not it. Get this table. All right. So for those that are new, this is our third episode, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So the first episode we learned about measuring tools. We have the measuring tape, what is used to measure body parts. This is what I couldn't find. My stove. See how flimsy it is? Let me see. Is there a way? There's got to be a way I can make this full size because this is too little. All right. Oh, we're over here now. What the heck? What the heck? What the hilly? All right. So this is this. Note this share. Wowzers. Nope, don't want to do that. Trying to figure out how to make this bigger. I don't know. I don't know today. Anyway, so we have the measuring tape. As you can see, it's flimsy like the one on the screen. You use it to measure different body parts, waist, boobs, head. Um, we have the seam gauge, which is this. Okay. Come. This is a seam gauge. As if you can look at it, you would see things like one half, 3.5, 2.5. Okay, then we have a yardstick, which I do not have. Um, I'm quite sure majority of you all know what a yardstick is, but just in case, let me show you a picture. Hmm. Not a yardstick for $159 at Home Depot. I need to go get one of those bad boys. So this is a yardstick. Transparent ruler. You can use this to measure your fabric as well. Because it's transparent, you can see the fabric, which makes it easier to cut. Hem gauge, same thing as a seam. Then we learned about straight pins, the different types of pins, the pinning tools, straight pins, ballpoint pins, ball head pins, quilted pins, silk pins, T-pins, pin cushions. Then we have the next thing we're on today are the cutting tools. Scissors. Make sure you get you a good pair of scissors. I had these are from Thread and Loops and Thread. I'm sorry. It came in a pack of 4. Got it from the M store, Michael's. Not on TikTok, so I can say whatever. You have 4-inch embroidery scissors, which these may be the embroidery scissors, I'm not sure. Micro tip scissors and 8-inch bent scissors, and then the thread nip. which is probably that thing that I was trying to use to cut fabric, and it wasn't for that. But make sure you get you a good pair of scissors, and whatever you use for whatever scissors you use for your fabric, please do not use it for your paper because they will get dull. My mom used to scream that to me all the time. Don't use my scissors to cut that paper. You're going to make my scissors dull. Huh? What are you talking about, ma'am? All right, let me show you for those that like to embroider or thinking about it. These are the scissors you would get for that. Excuse me. Which are these? You see how they like needle nose? How thin they are? They're different. These are thick almost to the tip. These are thick here and they tend to thin out as you get to the tip. Dressmaker shears. So let's see what that is. I've never heard of those. So we're learning together. This is not a marathon. If you are here to get it like this ain't it for you, okay? It's not it. We are here to take our time and make sure we learn how to do this correctly. This is dressmaker shears. They're heavy. They're usually heavy, but they're good. I had some. Have no idea where they went. They were gold. So disappointed. I gotta. All right. Oh, there they are right there. Pinking. And it says, it is important to keep dressmaker scissors sharp at all times. Pinking shears have a zigzag edge, blades to finish a seam edge. So let's see. I wanted those ones my mom had. Let's see. They are. My mom is a Marilyn. Oh my God. Okay. You see these? So I had this nylon, polyester, whatever you want to call it, fabric. And I cut it with these type of shears. Scissors, whatever you want to call them. And my mom told me that I should have had these because it stops them from raveling. It stops the fabric from raveling. So yeah. So when you see these in the store, you know what they are. Pinking shears. Have a zigzag edge blades to finish a seam edge. All right. Next, we have a seam ripper. They come in different sizes. You got the baby, which is what and then, as you can see, this is not on purpose. It's the store I shop at, and I just was like, okay, I need a bigger seam ripper because that baby one is not. That's not it. It's not it. Okay, and then you have this size. So this is used to, if you mess up Sorry. A seam ripper is a pin sharp gadget with a U shape blade for removing stitches. The blade picks up the thread in a stitch and cuts it without damaging the fabric. Seam rippers come in a variety of sizes and colors, just like I said. So now, that is not how I talk. Next, we have oh, sleepy. I'm tired. I went to work today. Thread clippers. So I have these somewhere. Where? Let's see if I can find them. I have a pair. Where is it? Okay. So far, I do not see them. And we're not going to hold the time. We're not going to prolong the time. Excuse me. So this is what I say about knowing what your stuff is, knowing terminology. People say, "Oh, I just want to learn how to sew, and tell me what this go, how you put this." You need to learn the terminology because when I got those scissors in there, I was like, "Oh, they're so cute! I can cut the fabric. That's not for fabric. That's for thread." Okay, you got to know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, you're gonna mess up. You don't mess up before you get started. All right. Next thing we have is a rotary cutter. Let's talk about the thread clipper. It's a tool that has spring action with blades for clipping thread ends. This is an easy way to clip stitches. So now let's look for a rotary cutter so you can know what that looks like. I'm just showing you all pictures. So when you go in the store, you know what you're looking for. That's a rotary cutter. It's a tool that has a round retractable blade. They come in a variety of sizes. They look similar to a pizza cutter and are used to cut several layers of fabric at once without distorting any of the pattern's cutting lines. So you know how sometimes how you had to fold the fabric, you could just use that, use this, use this. As if you can see, if you look closely, the fabric on here is folded and they're using the rotary cutter in order to cut a straight edge. Cool beans, huh? All right, let's keep going. let's learn about marking tools. These I do not have. I keep saying I'm gonna get, well, my mom had this stuff. I have no idea what any of it said. Could be old, gone, whatever. I don't know. But I know she had. So these are called marking tools. Marking tools are another of the tools that are needed for a sewing basket. So this is something else you need in your sewing basket. The marking tools are useful to transfer your sewing lines to the fabric. Tracing paper and a tracing wheel work together to transfer pattern marks to the fabric. So let's see how they go hand in hand. Tracing paper for sewing. So this is using tracing paper on a sewing pattern. It says is tracing paper is colored, translucent, and waxy finished paper that is placed color side down on the wrong side of the fabric. So if you had it, if I had some, I can show you. If you had the tracing paper, you're going to the color side of the tracing paper, you're going to put that on. So if, let me see, I got fabric here. I want to show you. I know this is a small piece, but if you look at this fabric, I don't know how good you can see it, but if you look at this piece of fabric, you can tell this is on the right side. This is the right side of the fabric, right? So the tracing paper would not go on this side. You would open the fabric up or turn the fabric over to the wrong side. This is the wrong side of the fabric. So if I had my paper, my fabric laying face down like this, and just say, for instance, I want something that's colored. Woo, I can't stop yawning, y'all. Gosh. She's telling me to go to sleep. Bro. So we'll pretend. So since this has words on it, on this side, we'll say this is the color side because it has words. A whole bunch of words, right? Black, whole bunch of blackness. So if this was a tracing paper and this side right here does not have, it's white, right? You would say, oh, it doesn't have black on it. Doesn't have color. What you would do is, shoot. What you would do is take this fabric, flip it over to the wrong side. See how I flipped it? First, it was on the right side. You can see. And then I flipped it to the wrong side. And then I'm going to take the color part of the tracing paper and I'm going to place it down on the wrong side of the fabric. Okay. A tracking wheel, a multi-tooth wheel mounted on a handle, is used to roll over the markings from your pattern and transfer them to the fabric. I'm going to show you how that looks. That's a tracing wheel. I say tracking wheel. It's a tracing wheel. Lord Jesus help me. I need to go to bed. So this is a tracing wheel. You can see it. You will use that so if this was the pattern, you would take the teeth of the wheel and you would roll it on the pattern, the lines on the pattern, and they can, yeah, use it to roll over the markers from your pattern and transfer them to the fabric. So I don't know if you're going to have the fabric up under it and roll it with that, so that way when you move it, you can see the lines on the fabric. We'll get into that later, but that's what a tracing wheel is for. All right, fabric marking pens are items used to transfer patterns, markings to a fabric. These pens have disappearing ink, so the pen may be used on the right or wrong side of the fabric as it washes off. Then they have tailor's chalk, is a small talk. Is it talk? Base chalk squares or pencils used to transfer pattern symbols to fabric pieces. The marks are temporary. Brushing or ironing the pattern piece will easily remove the chalk markings. Tailor chalk comes in various colors, but white is the one to start with for your sewing basket. Don't go out there get all them different colors. Start with white. So let me show you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy. Let's look at the fabric marking pens. Let's see. That's the pen, the fabric marking pens. This one is a two-way. Now we're going to do the tailor's chalk. And see how this is multicolored? But they said when you're making your sewing basket, to start with the white. Because they tell us we don't know what we're doing. I think they try to say we don't know what we're doing. So they said start with the white. So all right. Oh, excuse me. We are getting further and further into the good stuff, baby. So when we come back, let's recap. Let's recap right quick. So today we learned about cutting tools, scissors, embroidery scissors, dressmaker shears, pinking shears. What are pinking shears? It's something special. They have the zigzag, right? And what was the thing that stood out about the dressmaking shears? They should stay sharp at all times, meaning be careful. Meaning, if you have children, kids, little ones, make sure those scissors are out of their reach. Okay? Because it's going to be easy for them to cut their fingers off. And you don't want them to cut all their pretty little pictures that they make for mommy and auntie and granny and nana and whatever else. Take your nice little sharp stress making shears and dull them by cutting paper because paper will dull shears quick. So, but if you put them out of their reach, it is a safety hazard. So you want to put them out of their reach anyway. All right. Also, we learned about the seam ripper, the thread clipper, and the rotary cutter. Rotary cutter can be used to cut several layers of fabric at once without distorting any of the pattern's cutting lines. All right, then we have the marking tools. We learned about tracing paper. What about it? It's colored, translucent, and wax finished paper that is placed colored side on what side of the fabric? The wrong side of the fabric, remember. All right, then you have the tracing wheel that is used to roll over the markings of your pattern to your fabric. Then you have the fabric pens that have disappearing ink so you can write on either side of the fabric. And last but not least, we learned about the tailor's chalk, which is square chalk or pencils that are used to transfer pattern symbols to fabric pieces. The marks are temporary. Brushing or ironing the pattern pieces will easily remove the chalk markings. Tailor's chalk comes in various colors, but what color did they tell you to start with if you just beginning and making your sewing basket? What color? What color? Tell me what color. White. Exactly. Start with white. They telling us we beginners. They don't want us to mess up our fabric. Fabric is expensive. You can't go there and get no fabric for no dollar, no 99 cents. It's expensive. Don't play with it. So, with that being said, I would like to thank you for joining me again today and all the other days that I will come on Teach Me How to Sew with La Rose Home Decor Boutique. And I hope to see you soon. Rewind, stop, pause, whatever you got to do to take notes. I always tell my people to get you a notebook, take notes, so that way you can have these notes when it's time for you to either shop for your tools or when you're get ready to start sewing something as simple as a pot holder. Right now, it may look like a rat, your pot holder. Maybe don't nobody know what it is. You know, it is what it is. You're beginning. We're learning together. We're in this together. So, regardless to what it is, you know what? I want to try something. Because, baby, I have not used this yet. So, let me try something. Is this not what it's giving? What is this? I know this symbol, but I just can't think of it right now. Baby, I don't know. I really thought this was given. I'm going up in here. Anybody asks you? Okay. Where I'm going. Where I'm going. So, ooh, going up yonder. Going up yonder. Going to be with my love. Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm trying something before I give him a bang. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Combine left and right. So, okay, it's working, but I can't hear it. But anyway, so if I put it right here, this is my first time using this, y'all. So let me see something. Ooh. Oh my goodness. So can y'all hear me when I speak? Anybody asks you where I'm going, where I'm going, soon I can feel the pain. Do 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 do. Okay, it's time for me to go. I done sung because I was trying to do something. But I wanted to see if this was gonna work. This is my first time using it. Oh, I'm so excited. So now I have like a little microphone. I can talk in and I can be like, oh nope, this not what it's doing. So I can be like, so hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I am gonna talk about how to sew efficiently. Yay! Because my mic work is on. It's giving this. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Yeah, babe. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to rewind and fast forward or whatever, take notes. So that way when you go to the store, you will know what to get. Also, like I said, it will be beneficial for you if you decide to sew something. You can have this information at your fingertips. But until next time, thank you for joining me, and you have a wonderful, fabulous, blessed night. And I hope your morning is even better. Remember, what happens today stays on today. Tomorrow is another day. And until next time, bye.